to talk about today was I always notice like the people that are the most successful with this type of program or just in their goals in general versus the ones that just aren't. And I think the biggest thing comes down to your attitude, right? So like having a positive attitude, having believing that something can work. So we actually had a client that was a little frustrated. She had lost like 10 pounds in 10 weeks, which honestly was pretty good. Hey, give me a thumbs up, whoever's watching. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously not as fast as we want it to go, guys, it's supposed to be that way because at the end of the day, like most of us have lost it really fast before, and we know that it wasn't sustainable because we went to extreme measures to make that happen, right? But we're doing it the right way. It's systematic, and it's something that's going to be a little bit of a slower process, but it's a more permanent process, right? Because you're learning tools and skills and things that you can take on with you for a lifetime. What's up, Tammy? Thanks for the thumbs up. So you are learning tools that you can take for a lifetime, right? And if you don't learn those tools, if you don't do those things, then you're not going to be able to sustain what you actually did, right? It's very tough to do that without actually changing the person, right? It's just like I've said it before, when people win the lottery, most people are broke within, a couple years, right? And it sounds like pretty crazy, right? Because they win like millions and millions of dollars. But here's the thing is they didn't do anything to really earn that money. Thus, they didn't understand how to manage that amount of money, right? And so they end up just blowing it all. So statistics are pretty high on that. You can look it up. But again, the weight loss is the same thing, right? Like 97% of people that drop weight end up gaining it back within 2 years. And I'll, go out on a limb and say that, 97% of people do it the wrong way, and that's why they end up gaining the weight back, right? So anyways, yeah, this lady wasn't super happy, super thrilled about it. And she honestly just had like a piss poor attitude. So I just exited her out of the program because like we don't want to deal with that. I don't want the coaches to deal with that. She's pretty toxic, honestly. So like, we wanted to make sure that, we have the right people in this program. If you're watching this now, you are definitely the right person because at the end of the day, it does come down to the attitude, right? You have to believe, you have to keep trying even when things don't seem like they're working out. You just have to have faith, right? I think that's what I'm looking for, is just having faith and, trusting the process and believing in it, right? Because eventually it'll happen. Whether it's this year, next year, 3 years from now, whatever, like it's gonna happen as long as you never quit and as long as you keep doing the things that got you to this point, right? Because we've all had some success. It's just continuing to do the boring work, every single day. And I think that's the biggest problem with especially us now in today's age is we're very shiny object syndrome. We go on to the next thing instead of like having some success, seeing that worked, and then repeating that thing until we're beating a dead horse, right? Like you just gotta keep doing the boring stuff. There is no secret. It's really just repeating over and over those good habits, those good things that made you successful. And the progress will slow down. It's gonna be awesome at first and then it's gonna slow down. But by then you should be so dialed in. That's why we call it dialed in, because it's like you understand exactly what you need to keep doing to keep going, right? And the thing is too, if you're not making a ton of progress, it's always better than the opposite of going backwards, right? Or just being frustrated. Like for me, my goal for everybody in here, and this is why I praise everybody that's been with us for a year. Like obviously I want customers for a long time, but I want them to enjoy it and I want them to know that like, if they don't do this, they won't feel right about themselves. And that's my goal with everybody here. It's like, I want you to get to the point where it's just something you do every single day. And if you don't do it, like you're not gonna feel good, right? It's just like your workouts. If you miss a workout a lot of times, like for me, there's 2 or 3 days a week, I don't want to work out, right? I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing this. But I always think of what's the alternative here? Not to do the workout. I know how I'm gonna feel later on during the day. I'm gonna be disappointed in myself for skipping it. And I'm not gonna feel as good either, because the thing I always look forward to is not during the workout, but after the workout, I feel great, right? And I feel great the rest of the day. And I keep doing that every single day, right? Same thing with the food choices. Like, sometimes you don't want to eat that meal that you know is going to be better for you than like a cheeseburger, but you know how you're going to feel after you eat that cheeseburger, right? It's going to be good in the moment. Afterwards, you're going to feel guilty, and you're probably going to feel sluggish and things like that as well too. Not saying you can't ever have a cheeseburger, but like, you know what I mean by like making the right choices every day. So my goal for everybody in here is to be able to get to the point where, like, even if you aren't seeing a ton of progress, it's just the way you are. It's just the way that you carry yourself every single day. Hey, this is me. This is how I claim myself. I do these certain things because that's who I am.